In the fitness community, whey protein is an essential supplement of most of our diets, and it's important to know which proteins to choose and which proteins you should avoid. Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about choosing the right protein. I'm sure many of you have gone into GNC or Vitamin Shop or any type of supplement shop and seen so many different choices and not sure which protein to choose, not sure how to choose which is the right protein, and maybe you're just going off of a recommendation from somebody or just looking to see which protein catches your eye the most, or just hearing about it day to day, talking about like you see different advertisements for whey proteins and you're like, which one do I buy? Why do I buy it? And I'm here to help you, give you some tips on which proteins are good to have and which ones maybe you should avoid. Okay, let's just start with whey protein. Whey protein contains BCAAs, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. These are essential for muscle growth. The main thing about whey protein is its fast digestive rate. This will digest less than 30 minutes. It'll go straight to your muscles, which is why it's recommended to have post-workout. And if you actually know the right timings of having your protein, you'll get the most benefit out of having the whey protein. So that's specific to whey protein. So the whey protein contains these macrofractions, which are just essentially boost your immune system, help with muscle repair and muscle recovery, muscle growth. So it contains like a bunch of long, hard to say words, but if you're choosing the right protein sources, you will receive that benefit. So just think about like when you're going to buy your protein, you're specifically buying protein for the protein, not carbs, not fat. You can get carbs and fat from many food sources. You do not need to be purchasing a product like whey protein for that reason. So solely you want to get the most protein for your buck, so most bang for your buck. My recommendation is to take a calculation, and what you'll do is divide the number of servings of protein by the number of grams per serving. So let's take 100% gold standard whey protein. Okay, so a general rule is your protein should contain 70 to 90% protein per mix, per scoop. So what you'll do is you'll take the grams of protein per serving divided by the in grams, the number of servings per scoop. Let me just give you an example. So look at Alpha Nutrition whey protein. Let me try to get this up close. Okay, can you see that? Hopefully you did, yeah. Okay, so you see that there's 24 grams of protein per scoop. And the serving size per one scoop is 31.5 grams. So what you'll do is you'll take 24 divided by 31.5 and you will get 0.76% protein, which is a good amount per scoop. You want to be between 70 and 90, and that's a good one. So next, another one I recommend is Quest protein. We'll look at this label. Let's do that. Okay, so you'll take 22 grams of protein divided by 28 grams and you get 79% protein. It's slightly better than optimum. Really like Quest, the very low carb, very low fat per gram per scoop of protein. So a good whey protein will contain whey protein isolate or hydrolyzed whey protein. If you're getting a whey protein, they should be the first two ingredients, either one. If there is a whey protein concentrate, you want to avoid that. You want to just stick to whey protein isolate or hydrolyzed whey. Hydrolyzed whey has already been broken down so that it will digest and go to the muscles faster than just a regular whey protein isolate. That's the only difference. Either one is great to use. Another protein that I do recommend is MuscleTech's NitroTech. This contains 81% protein. All Max Isoflex puts out a great whey protein. Theirs is 90%. I mentioned before that Quest is a great protein to use. It is 79% protein. And another one I do recommend is the Dimetized ISO 100 whey protein. Recommended ones. They come up with the highest percentage of whey protein per scoop. So definitely stick to that 70-90%. You can even just whip out a calculator if you're going out to buy, because you just want to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck. There's a lot of companies who sadly put in 35% protein and the rest all junk, and you're wasting your money, and it's just not right for the consumer. Whey proteins that I do not recommend, I have just like a top 5. Companies like BPI Sports, which is pretty well known, is putting out a protein that's 66% protein per scoop. Another very well-known brand, Gaspre Nutrition, is also putting out a protein that's 66% protein per scoop. This protein is probably the worst of the worst. 46% protein per scoop. That is totally a disgrace, and I feel so bad for the people buying this. Now, MuscleTech puts out a good protein, NitroTech, but then they also put out a Phase 8, which is less amount of protein, so they skimped on one of their products. And the one that takes the top spot for the worst whey protein is Shakeology. That from P90X, from Insanity, different types of Beachbody programs, Shakeology, they found 12.4 mcgs of lead in Shakeology, so that is very dangerous, and they should definitely reevaluate their product and stop selling that to the consumer, because it does put a harm to their health. And in the end, like, we're all about getting healthier and making better decisions for ourselves. So alright, I just want to recap what I just talked about. So when you're choosing whey protein, just make sure the first 2 ingredients are either whey protein isolate or hydrolyzed whey protein. It should not be whey protein concentrate. That is not the healthy form of whey protein that you should be getting. Companies like you see Optimum, you see Quest, they buy these raw protein from these large companies, and they're regulated and they're safe for you to use. So if they aren't those first 2 ingredients, they're using the whey protein concentrate, and then it's really hard on your digestive system. You will feel it in your stomach when you do take these proteins, and you're not getting the most amount of protein per scoop. So again, like, you're wasting your money and you're harming your health. So be careful, keep that in mind, that you should be looking for those 2 ingredients. Whey protein overall does increase lean muscle mass. It will help you recover and rebuild your muscles in a healthy way. So yeah, the Quest and Optimum are my 2 favorites. I use them all the time, and they are always proven to be safe and effective for what I've always used them for. So I generally have them after my workout, or I'll have them like in the morning before my workout. I always plan them around my workouts. So definitely, like, use whey protein to its advantage. You shouldn't be taking a whey protein shake in the morning if you're training later on at night. You're not getting the benefit that the whey protein offers, because this is a fast digesting protein. So you want to use it to go to your muscles quickly, and if the muscles aren't stimulated to accept the whey protein at that time, you're wasting your calories and you're not getting the benefits of building that lean muscle mass from the whey protein. So again, have this around your workouts. When you're choosing whey protein, think about looking at the carbs and the fats. You're, again, not buying the protein for the carbs and the fats. You want that to remain pretty low, fat especially. Fat should be very, very low timing before and after your workouts. So if that contains a lot of fat, get rid of that protein. Carbs, I recommend 5 to 7 or less. Do not really go over that. You could just eat like a banana or a rice cake, cereal, something else that could serve as a carb. You don't want that to be a main ingredient in your protein, because again, you just want to get as much protein as you can. So again, do not be afraid to buy a calculator whenever it's possible. When you see a whey protein in like a GNC, and you see one that's really expensive and you see one that is less expensive, I'm not saying to always choose the more expensive one, but if the one is significantly less expensive, definitely double check it. Check the ingredients, check the amount of protein per serving, because you don't want to waste your money, don't want to harm your health, and it's again not worth it. These are not cheap products, so you definitely, I keep saying it again and again, get the most bang for your buck. So again, remember that 70 to 90% of protein per scoop. I always say Quest and Optimum are my number 2 favorites, but there are others out there. You just have to check and double check, because they could be sneaking in some stuff. And also, if you see like ingredients in other companies' protein blends that you really don't understand, maybe you shouldn't be eating, drinking, or having that, because you really want to know every ingredient that's in there and be able to understand it. If not, it's probably some chemical they're just adding in, or just a way for you to buy into it. So it's always good to read the ingredient labels no matter what you're buying. But I consume whey protein every day. It is an essential supplement of mine. I consume it, I only consume it if I'm weight training. I should take that back. I only consume whey protein if I'm weight training. If I'm not weight training that day, there's no reason for me to consume the protein. It's, again, you're wasting your calories, and you don't need to have it if you're not going to use it to fuel your muscles. This is solely a fast digesting protein. I see plenty of people like have protein shakes all the time, and it's like, well, did you just work out? But if you didn't, you're not getting the benefit of the whey protein. So just please keep that in mind. But I do drink it every single time after I work out. So I either make it into a cake, I make pancakes, I make protein ice cream with it. They're so diverse. These 2 proteins are pretty good. Quest is really good, makes it really thick. So there's plenty of ways to mix it up, even if you don't like to take it straight up. Protein powder is really, really good. So if you're interested in me taping any of my recipes with whey protein, I'd be happy to do that. I'm always like mixing it up and always trying to like make something to look forward to. So I know like when I'm done my workout, I have something to like really work hard towards. Like, so I know if I have my cake in my bag, I'm like, oh my god, I just really want to push through this workout so I can have my protein cake. It's like, it's sort of like an incentive, and it's kind of weird, but it really, really works. So yeah, if you're interested in any of the protein recipes, I'm happy to share them. They are great, and again, like make you push even harder. If you do have a question about your protein, you can definitely shoot me an email, leave me a comment. I'm happy to answer like any questions you guys have. The protein is very expensive, and you want to make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck and you're choosing the right thing. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to email me or reach out to me anytime.